Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my videos. Now this time it is going to be a live stream, and I have to actually make sure that my start bar isn't being shown, which it is right now. Can I not? Actually, you know what? It's not a big deal. Okay. It's just not a big deal. I can leave Steam on there, no problem. Right, so today I'm going to make a game. Yeah, a game actually. Um, a small game, a very small and easy game. It's going to be 2D, and it's going to be in the great genre of egg catcher games, if you're aware of those or if you've ever played them. I'm going to use Unity, as you can obviously see, and the main idea is in an egg catcher game that you catch eggs. I don't know if I can show you this, or if you need to see a screenshot, which I can't actually show because I actually have a screen capture and actually I could switch to display capture whenever I want to do that, but no, that's not needed actually. You guys know what I'm talking about. So basically you have these eggs that fly down or fall from the top of the screen, and you have to move around to catch them underneath. Now the on the market, on the Play stores, there are lots of games in that manner, but I happen to remember a game that I used to play on a sort of a handheld device. It was like a Russian game. They were actually made in Russia, and you were supposed to also catch the eggs, but they didn't flow vertically, didn't fall out of the sky. Rather, you had four coops, chicken coops, like two on one side and two on the other, like one on top of each other. And there were ramps, and then the eggs were going to be sliding down the ramps towards the middle of the screen where you had your catcher character, which was, if I remember correctly, a starving wolf, or well, not starving, but you know, a wolf that had seen better days, probably, so to say. And yeah, so let's go ahead and start it. So what I've got right now is one scene. There's no need for more than one scene. This one scene will have one canvas for the game, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And I think I'll make a second canvas for the menu, because this game is going to be just like Angry Birds or any other simple game. That's going to be a small menu on top of the game screen when you open it, and if you click start game, it's just going to fade away and you'll just start playing. So let's go ahead and set up our stuff right here. Now on this canvas I have a background image which is colored white, but I'm going to color it a bit more gray. I have no graphics at the moment for this game, and they're not needed because my graphics guy is just waiting for me to actually make the game, and then we can, you know, get on with it. And inside of this canvas I will be having a couple of objects, right? So let's go ahead and make some more objects. Yeah, I think they will be they will be sprites for sure. Do I have to put them on top? Okay, are they really this small? That's the background, and where's the... Okay, so did I actually forget everything I was doing? Let's get an image. Okay, so where's the sprite? We actually have to import it. You know what, forget the sprite. I forgot how they work. This is the sprite, right? Yeah, forget it. I'll just put images instead, and when I get the sprites, I'll just use the sprites. Okay, so let's go ahead and move these images. These are going to be our placeholders for the objects in the game. So right in the middle, we're going to have the egg catcher. It should be about this big. Now, thematically, I was thinking about doing something with a kangaroo catching the eggs and with his pouch or in his pouch, and maybe some I don't know, some ostriches, like Australian themed. That sounded good to me, in my opinion. Now this character should look about this big. I think this is big enough, maybe, hopefully. We'll see when I get the graphics if this fits. Now, bear in mind the game isn't going to be done all together or finished tonight. So let's go ahead and rename this. This is going to be the egg catcher. At the moment it's an image, but you can always modify him. Just as you know, a heads up, I'm using the 2560 by 1440 resolution, which is the quarter HD, or I don't know, the 2K resolution, because there are lots of smartphones and tablets out there on the market that can actually support this, and I want the game to be playable in a browser as well. So you know, maybe, or we'll see. So yeah, that should be needed. Right, so let's go ahead and stick these margins on. I always like doing this because I would like everything to scale with the screen. The downside to this is when you have devices that use another image format. So for example, instead of 16:9, which is the standard HD format, they use 16:10 or maybe even 4:3, which is, you know, like really old school. Then these images are going to look a bit distorted, obviously. But other than that, it's best to just, you know, make sure that your object is centered properly. So this is the egg catcher. I'm going to make him pink. Okay, that looks good. Maybe a bit yellowish, like kangaroo. Yeah, kind of like that. Oh, I can actually use a sprite for the source image at the moment, so I can actually turn this into a sprite if I'm not mistaken. You can do pretty much anything with anything in this game, in Unity anyway. Good. So let's go ahead and make the should I make these images? I guess so, and we can transform them into objects later on. Or actually, you know what? No, I'll just add some components, and that should be enough for me to change the source image, because really what you want to do is use the proper animation on the character whenever a command is given, right? So if he has to move to the left, to the top left, to the bottom left, or to the top right, bottom right, then he has to change positions and, you know, have a sprite do a small animation for that position. So I'll probably add some stuff later on. For example, scripts. And where can event? Should I put events? No, I don't think I need events. What I wanted, and I can't see right now, is I can't remember how I used to do this, because I haven't used Unity in quite some time. Where was it now? I wanted variables, right? And I can't actually remember how to put in oh, no, I remember. So when you put a script in, the script has some global variables, and if you use those, then that's how you do it. And oh yeah, I forgot. I'll probably have to. No, you know what? Let me just go to the egg catcher and make a new script. Catcher script C#. Alright, that's good. And what I want to do here in the assets is make a new folder called scripts, and just move that in there. That's what I wanted to do. Good. And let's go ahead and open this with Visual Studio. Now, if I'm not mistaken, oh hey, live chat. I'm sorry, I didn't actually check the live chat until now. Just wanted to say congrats. What's this game about? Hey, okay, I don't have to write if you're still here. Right, so this is going to be an egg catcher game. Thank you for congratulations. It's going to be a small egg catcher game, you know, like really simple to make, and you know, basically for little children which like to use their tablet or phone to catch eggs. But it's another type of egg catcher. It's not the normal one where the eggs just rain down from the sky. It's the Russian version where the eggs roll off from the sides. There are like 4 coops, or maybe I should do 2 coops at first. I think I'll do two coops at first, and maybe have some sort of flight progression mechanism implemented where you buy an extra coop as you play the game. Right. So we've got our Visual Studio in. Let me go ahead and add a display for that. Window capture. So window capture. Visual Studio, and it's going to be this one, yeah. Okay, so right now we switched to this, and yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, if I define some public ints around here, like public int catcher position. Is that a bad name? Yeah, that's a bad name. Catcher pos, which is 0, and I'll say 0 is for bottom left, 1 is for bottom right, because those are the first 2 ones, and then we'll have a 2 for top left and 3 for top right. So if I'm not mistaken and I go back there, let me switch back to Unity right now. What? Cancel. How do I switch? Oh, like that, okay. So if I'm not mistaken right now, the egg catcher, yes, should have the catcher position variable right here. And that is all nice and dandy. I want to make a 2D fighting game or a platformer. Well, that's depending on how complicated you want to make it, is a bit more more complex than this, because you'll probably need to have some hitboxes, which I also actually I don't think that I'll need a hitbox, or will I? No, I think I will. So you'll have to have some hitboxes, some pretty complicated ones, because you know the geometry of the characters in a fighting game is much more complex than just, you know, eggs and a catcher and the floor, which I'm going to be having over here. But you know, you can try whatever. Platformers are cool and very easy to make with Unity or these kinds of engines. And depending again on how complex your mechanics want to be, your physics want to be, it takes more or less time. Right, so that's the catcher. Let's go ahead and go over it. Yeah, next off, we'll need another object. I'll just make all of these images because why not? And this is going to be the floor, right? So the floor is the part of the game which you don't want the eggs to catch. Let's make it a bit wider, a bit taller, because if this is a kangaroo and his pouch is right around here, if the egg goes, you know, like under his pouch, then we can officially say that the egg was lost. Let's make it a bit, it actually doesn't have to be wider because the eggs will always go around here. So actually is this right? Yeah, this looks about right, and we'll color it black because you don't want the eggs to hit the floor. Let's go ahead and get these anchors hooked up correctly. Now, this is the worst thing that you can do. Not worst, the most boring thing that you can do in Unity, and that is setting up these anchors. I don't know if there's an automated way of doing it. Maybe there is and I'm just a dumbass. Like I said, I'm not a pro Unity developer. I'm just, you know, having a bit of fun with it. So this is going to be the floor. Anything new? Okay, no. This is going to be the floor. Now, how do I want to do this? Do I want this to have some sort of hit mechanic, or do I just want this to be around on the map? Now, actually, I'll add a component. I'll add a script, which is also going to be called floor script. Right. Here we go. It's in the assets. Yeah, it is. Go in the scripts. And let's go ahead and open it as well. Good. Now, I don't see what public variables we'll need for the floor. No, actually there will be one, because the game might have some sort of power-up that makes you like invincible. Like there's going to be a mode in which hundreds of eggs start rolling down from the hatcheries, and you won't be able to catch them all. And when that happens, you'll need to have a public ignore floor, which is usually false. Public bool ignore floor, which is usually false, and you'll have another public bool egg fell explatter, which is going to have, it's not going to be an int, it's going to be a bool, it's going to be an integer, because I want to have you know, like more egg splatters all around the floor. So it's going to be 0, which means none, but 0 for no eggs, 1 plus for multiple egg, broken eggs. Right, so this is what I envision that I'll need for the floor. There will be probably no start initialization, so I'll just go ahead and that doesn't work here. How do I block comment? quick actions and refactoring. Okay, that didn't work. Snippet. Ah, here we go. Surround with. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Let's try this again. Insert comment. No, I just want to comment everything. No, that's not it. You know what? I'll just do it manually. Fuck it, we'll do it live anyway. Oh, 3 people watching. That's interesting. Anyway, we'll probably need the update function. Yeah, most likely. But the start one, I don't think so. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and switch back to Unity. So we've got our catcher, we've got the floor. Next up, we will need the chicken coops. So let's go ahead and make that. UI image. It's not gonna be chickens, right? I said ostriches. So ostrich coop. Is that how you write ostrich? Hopefully. You guys can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. As you can probably tell, English is not my first language, which doesn't make it better, but you know, I have an excuse. Now the chicken coops are going to be a bit towards the middle of the screen because I want to have the sides available for buttons, for positional buttons, so that the catcher, you know, moves in the correct direction. And this is going to be, I'll make it, yeah, this should be okay around here, maybe. We'll see. So let's go for -723, -369. I like rounded numbers better. Height, oh, this is not, let's go for square, 400 by 400. Now again, these pixels are not relevant in this case because they will hopefully scale. Now before I go ahead and no, this is not right. No, actually it is right. How was that done? Was the coop? Yeah, if I remember correctly. Now I'm going to have to use more coops, right? Because as I said, there needs to be more of them. So let's go ahead and duplicate this item. And there's going to be like 2 coops on top of each other, maybe like this. This looks reasonable, right? Kind of like that. And there's going to be 2 separate types of images for them. The reason why I'm stacking them on top of each other is because they have to look, you know, this should be okay. This should work. Okay, good. So this is let's rename them. So this is going to be left bottom. This is going to be left top. Left top. Let's go ahead and duplicate these ones as well. And go for 714 with the plus. Actually, I didn't want that. Okay. This one is going to be the right bottom coop. And yeah, let's go ahead and duplicate this one as well. This is going to be 655 plus and right top. Crap, I should have made the the scripts as well, added the scripts as well to them, but no problem. I'll just add one and manually add them afterwards. Right, so these are going to be the chicken coops. I've established their positions. Time to anchor them in place, which is really boring, I know. Let's go ahead and get this party started. These are the boring parts of Unity. Well, I'm sure there's many more. These are some of them. Oh, and I forgot to color them differently. I'll have to color them differently as well soon. Good, so that's one. That one's finished. Then this one. I would have put some music on to make this a bit more entertaining, but you know how copyright is, and I wouldn't have known if I would have been able to use the recording as a normal video for my channel, because I do want to put up more content. As my channel was, for those of you who don't know, and probably most of you don't know, almost unpartnered, or will get maybe still. I don't know if I'm in the clear yet, unpartnered, because I didn't have 1,000 subscribers. So the rules are the rules, how to say. Maybe, I don't know. I don't actually follow all of the rules. That's really boring. Who needs rules, right? Okay, this one's perfect. And then this one is a bit to the side. Let's go. Okay, good. Now that we've got that boring part out of the way, let's go ahead and get some nice color. And now just go for some blue. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Okay. Good. Now, the next step is going to be making the script for it. Let's make a new script called Coop Script. And we'll have to add the Coop script to each one of them. Because they will be Coop script. Let's take the Coop script and modify it a bit. Okay, good. Here we are. I'm not sure that we'll need the start function, but we will need some other things. So we'll need like a public. Right, so what do we need for the coops? So first off, yeah, as I said, some of the coops will actually not start the they will not start off being available. Rather, the game won't start having them available to you. So we'll make a public pool is enabled, which I'll make as false by default, and then I will modify by hand to true in the Unity editor. Now, the next one will be, I think, public int I'll put the position, and this is going to be 0, but it's actually going to be 0 for bottom left, 1 for bottom right, 2 for top left, and then 3 for top right. Okay, so I have to go ahead and modify it in Unity as well. Here we go. So the bottom ones are going to be enabled. This is position 0, which is correct. This one is going to be position 2, if I'm not mistaken. Well, this one is position... No, this one is 2. This one is position 1. And then this one is going to be position 3. Okay. And the top ones aren't going to be enabled by default or at the start of the game. Better off. Okay, next what we'll need is some images for, you know, the ramps that come down from the coop with the X. Right. Actually, do I need that? No, I don't think I need the ramps. Why would I need the ramps? Well, in the meantime, let's go ahead and make some more variables for the coops. We'll have a public bool is producing, which is going to be true all the time. This is the if this is a variable that will tell us if the coop is producing X or not at the time, because as you progress through games, maybe at some point some of them will stop making X for like short amounts of time, so that you have a breeder or something along those lines. And then we'll have what else? And maybe we'll have another one called public bool. No, actually it's going to be an int egg spam intensity, which will also go up in time. It is going to start off with 0, but 0 for no eggs. Actually, if I have this one, then I don't need the producing bool anymore, right? No, I do, because whenever that happens, I don't want to forget the old intensity that the coop was at whenever I switched the producing on and off. So I don't want to have to save that in a temporary variable or anything, so that the xspam intensity stays the same. I turn off production, then I turn it back on, and maybe I turn xspam intensity a bit lower, or I don't know what. Right, but this is going to tell us how many eggs per second. No, not per second. Eggs per minute. 0 for no eggs per minute. And then it's going to go up to whatever. We'll have to see a bit later on how we're going to deal with this. Right. Let me go ahead and drink some water. Okay, anything else that I want to add to the coops? Well, nothing comes to mind right now. Maybe there will be upgrades, but you know, the upgrades can also be determined by the intensity, the XPAM intensity value. So whenever you get a higher XPAM, then you know there will be some visual upgrades to the Coop. We'll see. Anyway, let's go back into Unity. So what I want to establish now is whether or not I need some objects called ramps for the eggs. I don't think that I actually do, if I'm actually thinking about this, because I can just extrapolate the positions on the screen between the Coop and the catcher, so that the eggs follow a certain path every time, and that's just going to happen to be on top of the drawn Coops. Not Coops. What are they called? I just said it. Ramps. The egg ramps. Right. So I think that's not going to be necessary at all. No, probably not. So let's go ahead and make some buttons. Can I actually make buttons? Button. Yes, I can. Let's go ahead and make the buttons for positioning your egg catcher. We'll make it 140 by 125. Is that too small? That's a bit small, isn't it? Okay, let's go for 200 by 150. That looks good, doesn't it? So this is going to be the move left what? Left button, yes. Move left button. Button. I don't need to put button on the end of it anymore. It's quite obvious, right? So yes, this is going to be this button for moving here. I think this is a good enough position. Minus 425. Good. The color. Can I set the color here? Where can I set it? There's not going to be a text. It's probably going to be an image inside of it. Yes, this just goes away, and we'll put another image. No, actually I can put an image over here, so you know that's, yeah. I'll change it later. Let's go ahead and get a button. Okay, this looks nice. So this is going to be the button for moving to the bottom left. Let's duplicate it. Why did I do that? Just had to do this. And that was it. Oh, and rename it. So this is right bottom. My voice is cracking quite a lot tonight. I don't know why. And I'm guessing this is a good enough position over here. Kind of like that. We'll work on everything else later. So this is the top left top, and duplicate it. And right top. Okay. Oh, I forgot the scripts again. But you know, I don't think that I need a script. Do I need a script? No, I just have to. Oh, I can put in, yeah, so what I can do here is link the egg catcher script to the buttons, and I think that I would actually do that. So let's go ahead and switch back. Let's go to the egg catcher, the catcher script. These are not saved. Okay, they are saved now. And let's make some public functions. And let's say public move to. It's going public void. So it's going to have a integer for the position. I don't like this. I don't know who did it, but I don't like it. The fact that they put the braces on the new line. And we'll have to make a switch position case 0 and what? Oh, not end, break, sorry. Then we'll have case 1 break, case 2 break, and case 3 break, and default is going to be 0. I don't think that we'll need it, but you know, let's just have it. Default break. Good. So this is going to be the positions according to how the player wants to move his character. We'll come back later and work on these. Let's go ahead and switch back to Unity. Good. So what you want to be doing now is for these on clicks, let's go ahead and start with this. You'll want to right, so I think that I'm doing this wrong because I have to link, yeah, probably. Yeah, I'll have to link this catcher to the object on the screen. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And this is also important for you guys to know. So this is the catcher. He has a script, which is this catcher script. And we want to make this into a prefab. Can I make this into a prefab? Create empty. I think this is how you do it. I think you create an empty object, if I'm not mistaken. No. Oh no, that's not how you do it. So if I'm not mistaken, you just what did you make? Why did I forget this? This was quite important. Here? No. No, this is for making something new on the side of it. So let me just check out quickly how you make a prefab. Unity convert to prefab game object. How to turn objects into prefabs. I used to know this, and it used to be really simple. Right click, create prefab in project view. Just drag and drop the objects into the prefabs. Oh, okay, I see. So I'll have to make a prefab over here. Come on. Oh, can't I just do it now? Yeah, that's how we do it. This is the egg catcher right here. Okay, so what I want to do is delete. Hopefully this works. I'll have to delete that one and instantiate a new egg catcher in place and put it in the canvas. There we go. Yep. And hopefully that works. Okay. You're kidding me. So I'm getting screen position out of view. So I'm getting this this problem right here. Okay, delete that one and say, can I import it? Okay, so let me just import this one into the canvas. Still the same problem. Why doesn't this work? Okay, let's go ahead and go back. Can you clear these? Yeah, okay, they are cleared. Oh, this is the egg catcher. Right. So now it is a prefab. So hopefully this is going to be an instance that I can actually manipulate from outside. And what I want to be doing now is go here for the or no, not for that. Yeah. So what I want is to use the egg catcher. Can I use this one? Game object. Catcher script. Oh, I can obviously use. Yeah, I'm not terribly sure that they are linked correctly together, which is something that I'll have to check out later on. I'm not terribly sure that that is working as intended, but hopefully it is. And the idea is that I want to call the catcher script move to egg catcher 0. And then do the same for this one over here. Oh, that's what I have to do. I have to actually click. Okay, so I was being a dumbass. So you actually have to do this. You have to go over to the scene tab and then pick out the egg catcher, which is already on the screen over there. That makes a whole lot of sense. And then tell it to invoke the move to function, and that is, if I'm not mistaken, position number 2. And then this one, yep, I'll do the same thing. This one stays 0, and then this is wait, this one is going to be position number 1. 1. And position number 3. Let's go ahead. Good. So these buttons should actually directly interact with the catcher in the middle. Good, now that looks almost done. We still need to put down the menu and high score buttons. Actually, the high score isn't going to be a button, it's just going to be a menu display. So let's put those back in. We'll put the this is going to be the high score tab. It's going to keep a tab on our high score. Let's go ahead and center it nicely. This should be, yeah, this should be big enough. It's going to contain a text. Text. High score text. Right, let's go ahead and get a color, background color for it. We'll go for yellow, gold. Yeah, looks good. Put down the anchors. I'm pretty terrible at UI design, so don't, this isn't a, this is definitely not about designing the UI, right? This is just me trying to make a game. Okay, that looks acceptable. And then that's going to be the text, which I will position to the side because this is just going to say, there's going to be two texts, or I can actually use one. No, there's going to be two of them because they don't have to, they shouldn't be interacting with each other, right? So, okay. So half of it is going to say high score, and then the other half is going to say, the amount in points or dollars, and I'm probably going to have a dollar sign or whatever, gold sign, coin sign, something around over there. Oh, actually, I should be having two of these. Yeah, let's go ahead and have two of these. So I messed this up. Let's go ahead and center them back. This shouldn't be what how I'm doing this, because I'll have also the amount of lives that you have here, right? So let's put the high score to the right. That's usually how these things are. Let's make it a bit smaller. Let's go for, I'm guessing 125 height should be enough for you guys to read the high score. Yeah, that should be more than enough. And let's go for 850 length and set it off, I don't know. Ah, that looks good, right? I think that's okay. So this is going to be the high score tab, and then there's going to be the lives, because whenever you or should I make this easy? I was just thinking about the game mechanics right now. Maybe your high score or the money is correlated to lives as well, so maybe if you just drop too many eggs, you lose too much money, and thus you go out of business, out of the egg catching business. But then I'll need another, I'll need another status to show you guys how far you've come along, right? Because maybe there's going to be more stages, more levels, so to say. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So we'll keep this one here. And this one is obviously too big right now. Let's go for 330 with 17. Let's go ahead and put it in the middle. Okay. this is going to say not the high score, but rather the amount of money that you have right now. Okay, this one is going to be empty. Yeah, we'll center the... it's not going to be empty. What am I talking about? It's going to say something like cash, right? It's going to say something like cash. We'll need a much bigger font size, and we'll go bold. Let's go for 20. No, that's too small. 28. Still too small. 40. Much too small. 60. Okay, that's more like it. Right. So and best fit. You can go 100. Whatever. On bigger screens, maybe best fit 100. Yeah. Okay. Good. And then on the other side, we'll need another text which says, you know, the amount of cash that you have and the background of this image of this object right here, because you can set a background for it, is going to actually have the dollar sign. Or maybe I'll just put a dollar sign image extra in it, which, you know, maybe I will. We'll see. Or maybe this is going to have the dollar sign in it. Yeah, whatever, something like that. So this is going to be not the high score tab, it's going to be the money tab. Money tab. It's going to be the money text. And we'll have another object, another text object called money. And this one, so what was, what was that? 330 by 75, if I'm not mistaken. 75 by 330. Yeah, that looks okay. I'll put it here, and this one is going to be empty. And same fit. Same type of text. We'll put best fit in it as well to 100, and yeah, that should be it. I know this isn't very exciting, but you know, it's what you have to do. Looks good. Right, so this is going to be the part of the game that shows you how much cash you've currently got, so you don't want to go minus. If you do, then you lose, obviously, or you stop playing, obviously. Oh hey, thanks for congratulating me. Right, so it's going to be that. We will need a component for this one. It's going to be called, we'll just make a new script. It's going to be called current money. Okay. So then current money needs to go into the scripts, and we'll have to make another folder called prefabs. And the egg catcher is going to go in the prefabs folder. Okay, let's go ahead and open money and switch. I have to figure out a way to switch faster between the scenes. Maybe there's a, yeah, probably there is something over there. Just switch, because I don't want to capture the whole display. I usually was running a double display, and in that case I could just have like all of my other stuff that I didn't want to get captured in the OBS uh, video recording screen on the other monitor, and I would just use the first monitor to catch whatever I wanted. But you know, my other monitor is currently out of use, so to say. Right, so this is current money. This is just going to be a placeholder for, you know, showing how much money you've got, and we do not need the start and the update functions. We just delete them, but we will need a public int cash variable, which is going to start off at 0, or no, it's going to start off at 100. Yeah, whatever. Let's go for 100. And maybe I can make some. As you've seen until now, I used public everywhere because I like it better than using setters and getters. But you know, I can do that as well. There should be no issue with that. And wow, it's already been an hour since I started streaming, and I didn't want to stretch it out that much, but I will just put down the two components that we still need. Okay, so it's going to be the cache. It's starting off at 100. Do I actually... I forgot how... Yeah, let's go ahead and get back into Unity. So, current money. So if you go here, this one has the current money thing, but I'll have to... get this text component from here, and I forgot how you do that, so I'll probably do that in the next video, because actually most of the game will happen in the next video of the development, because there's no point in wasting your time right now, as I need to just, you know, go back to the other games that I made and remember how you get the text from the component, from the father component, and you use the variables to set and you know, modify these things over here. Anyway, good. So let's go ahead and finish this off. We'll need another button. Let's go ahead and make a new button. Where are you? There you are. So we'll go for how big were these? 125. Let's go for 125 by 200. That should be more than enough. Center it right nicely. Okay. And 0. Good. And so this is going to be the menu button. Let's rename it menu button. There's not going to be any text in it because I'll just put a nice... Yeah, we can leave this one white, doesn't bother me. And I think that I will just duplicate this item and put it actually, and move it to the left. That's it, perfect. And this one isn't going to be showing the cache, but it's going to be showing some other stuff. This is going to be the level tab, or yeah, level tab. Level tab sounds better because it's going to be having the current level that you're in and your high score, right? So this one is going to be having both of those things. Level tab. So we'll have current level, which is just going to say level. Oh, level, yeah. Okay, and the other one is going to say high score. I think I'll have to make these a bit smaller. Or should I just keep the level here? So like the high score is going to be the amount of cash that you've accumulated. Because every time you start a new level, I'm not going to let you, you know, like lose hundreds or thousands of X before you run out of lives. So that is still a, or maybe each time the level multiplies the amount of cash that you lose by losing an egg is, you know, higher. I'll just say high score. It will just say high score, but we need to put it in smaller letters. Let's go for something along the lines of 40 maybe. And we'll turn best fit off. Okay. Yeah, that looks better, I think. 40 is still big. Let's go for 36. Okay. And this is not going to be mine. This is high score. High score text. And then this is the level text. And we'll do the same here. Go for left, go for no more best fit. Actually, I could still do best fit. I just have to go for smaller. And this one's going to be 36 as well. Turn that off for a bit. Okay, there we go, so that I can actually modify this. Yeah, this should be okay. I know this is horrible. Probably, if you've got any design sense, then you're probably screaming right now at the screen. But I'm sorry, I'm not a designer. I should stick to coding. Whatever. Okay, still turn best fit on. Yeah, that looks good. And then high score text, we're going to have 36 and best fit on all the way to, yeah, I don't know, 60. Okay, whatever. And 60 over here. And we'll still need two more objects, two more text objects. We'll need, what did I have? 75, right? Yeah, 75 times 160. That seems to be okay. Let's go ahead and duplicate this one as well. Yep, there we go. Yeah, that should be more than enough. So this one is going to be the level. Nothing in it. Well, you know, one one should be in it. It's going to be 36 as well, all the way up to 60, I think, whatever. Yeah. It's also going to have a script attached to it. It's going to say current level. Level. We'll get into that the next time that we're here. And this is going to be the high score. And this isn't going to say, this is going to say 0 at the start, because obviously font size 46 all the way up to 60. Why not? There we go. And this one is going to have another new script called high score script. And yeah, that should be pretty much it. Oh, we still need a script for the button, or actually a function for the button. Well, no, there's not going to be a function for the button. There will, however, be a script for the whole canvas. Game script. Bam. And the game script is rather the now I don't know if I can actually do that, right? Because if the button is here, where's the button? Menu button. There we go. Can it actually get an action from that one, from the scene? Yeah, it can. It can actually. So we'll have game script right here, right? Okay, so that's going to get a function from the canvas, and the canvas is going to be having the game script, which is the main script. And let's go ahead and put these into the scripts folder, and that should do it for today. So this is basically the layout for the game. We'll need to start in the next episode. I'll probably link the buttons, like left, right, top, bottom, all of that, and we'll start coding the first, not the first, some of the first some of the first functionalities into the game, like generating the eggs and creating the egg prefabs that have to go down. And yeah, that should be it. Right, so thank you to everybody for watching and listening. Hopefully this has been entertaining enough to watch, so to say. Hopefully, we'll see. And don't forget to like, subscribe if you've liked it, or if you'd like to see more, or if you'd like to see more of my other stuff. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.